This is my Omega Geneve 162.010 from approximately 1970. And if you saw the video that I did on the Seamaster DeVille, you heard me mention that I had an extra movement because I needed the movement for the dial for the Seamaster, but now what I needed was everything else to complete a watch. Well, this was all done probably 10 years ago, something like that, and I was hunting around figuring I would never run into, because it's easy to know if you have just a movement, you might be able to figure that maybe the case was gold and somebody sold the gold for scrap and now there's an extra movement sitting around. That makes sense. I was able to find, crossing my fingers, not exactly the ideal shape or style that I was looking for, something to put that 563 movement in there. Everything else, I was able to find this. This was on eBay from Japan, and this was the dial, the hands, the case, the original crystal. I know you're not going to be able to see it, but it's got the little Omega label, little Omega symbol right there. And you know, it was just everything except the movement. So I think I got lucky. Again, this wouldn't have been the style that I would have selected. So on with everything else. Well, another thing about that is this one I called the Franken-watch because looking up the case number, this was supposed to come with a 565 movement in it, which had 24 joules, and I put a 563 movement in there, which has 17 joules. So even though the 563, 564, 565 were all the same watch, just with different jouling in it. So this one has 563 has 17, and then I believe the 564 had 21 and then 24 for the 565, if I'm not mistaken. I know the 565 24 and this one's 17. One of the things that I did forget to mention on the Seamaster with these 563 movements, well, 563, 564, 565, is the quick set. So when you pull out the crown, you can see it does have a little bit of wiggle in there, but when you pull out the crown, it advances the date. So you have to pull it out totally so that there's the first position, and if you pull it out to the second position, it advances, and then you just push it back in. So anyway, this is the Geneva, and it's not exactly, the dial's obviously not exactly in the best position, and there must have been something, I think, originally that was supposed to prevent the wobbling. But yeah, there was the original crown, and then the stainless steel back. So the dimensions on this one, I almost forgot to mention that, are 31 this way and 32 this way. Actually, they're probably, I'm pretty sure it's 32. For some reason, I probably measured from here to here and from here to here, so the center. So that's 32. So it's essentially a square shape, but it kind of bows out on either side, so I'm going to call this cushion shaped. And it is gold plated. Lug to lug on this is 37, thickness is 10 millimeters, and like I said, this has the 563 movement in it, which I should be able to pop open like that, which is obviously not very good. I'm going to take a look at the back before we look at the movement. Yeah, so it doesn't say what it's plated with. And, you know, obviously it's going to be gold plated, but it just says acier inoxidable, whatever that is. That's the that means stainless steel. Fabrique Suisse, Swiss made, and then the 162.010. And that's what I figured about 1970 is when I looked this up, and somebody else had them online, and they were guessing about 1970. I didn't look at the serial number on the movement to see when that was made. All right, so there. Be careful not to touch the dial, and I don't want to put it down and mush the hands. So there's the 563, 17 joules. So you can see the 563 Omega watch company. And there's the balance. And let's see if I can get the rotor out of the way. You see it says 17 joules under there. And this is actually the movement that I was using when I did the demonstration or the little video on the Seamaster DeVille, because I didn't really want to take that out. It's got the single piece case with the split stem, and this one fits in here. Well, let me put all of this back together. Didn't hear it click into place, but must have. Alright, so now what I'll do is I will stick it on my wrist and show you what it looks like there. So there it is on my 6.5-inch wrist. The 32 millimeter cushion shaped Omega Geneve, and 10 millimeters thick. I'm gonna see if you can see that little Omega logo right in the middle of where the seconds hand is. And you can kind of see it there, but this was common. This was on my DeVille. This is on a lot of the watches that I have, even on that I think I saw it on the Speedmaster as well, which is newer. Anyway, there it is, my Franken-watch, and I brought a watch back to life. That's what counts. I didn't stick some off-brand movement in an Omega case. And like I said, it's the 563 and the 565 are the same. Otherwise, somebody would have this case, dial, hands, crown, all that stuff sitting around doing absolutely nothing, and I'd have a movement that was sitting around doing absolutely nothing. So there it is. Like I said, this is the style that I would have picked. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching. Bye.